What's going on, everyone? Chris from PickDawgz.com here with your morning show. It is Friday, October 17th, 2025, the calm before the storm as we head into another college football and NFL weekend. Small card today, 4 college football games, 4 NHL games. Got a couple of championship series from Major League Baseball still going, and we're obviously going to have our circuit picks, but we still got some money to be made today, and I got a couple great guys to do it with today. Costi, how you doing?
Doing good. Split yesterday, but I had more value on the Bengals. It was just, again, dog at home, Thursday night, short week. Definitely an upgrade. I thought at one point it might have been a lateral move going from Browning to Flacco, but somehow the Bengals offensive line decided to figure out how to actually block, because they gave him a lot of time. He was able to utilize those all-world receivers, and 5.5 at home on a Thursday night game is it's almost an auto bet in certain situations on Thursday night on a short week. So cashed that, but didn't cash East Carolina. I'm sure you guys were on it as well.
How do you see how we lost? They went for a field goal on 4th and 8 at the end of the game with 1:50 left instead of going for it.
You mean East Carolina did?
No. Tulsa.
Well, no, I saw that. But it's a 3-score game. So
I had them at 17. So, but again, you can't kick the field goal there with 1:50 left. That should be your last score. You got to get
that should be your last score. You got to go for the touchdown. Hope to get an onside kick. I mean, you're 3 scores, so still painful. Still painful.
Yeah. Here come the Vegas allegations. But
no,
Jeremy, how you doing besides East Carolina?
Oh, well, no, I mean, it's been a good, Costi, it's been a good week. Last 2 days I've had losing days, but not anything that's going to make you go, oh my God, I totally shit the bed. I had a couple of tough losses. I lost by the hook twice in the past 2 days. I had Cincinnati last night, East Carolina. I was on Seattle, so you got to be happy about your Blue Jays looking really good right now. And I had the Dodgers under, but with the way things have been going, I've been red hot in the NFL, so it's been really good for me there. Just keep this thing rolling. So I feel good about this weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully we can keep it going into Saturday with a nice little run right now. Swept the board yesterday, 5-0. The NHL puck just bounced my way yesterday, and I'm just ready to try to carry it forward. Never get too high, too low. Just try to keep it rolling on day by day. But we got, like I said, solid card today. Like I said, the Blue Jays came through yesterday. Oh boy, it's weird. I was less nervous down 0-2 in the series than I am with the best of 3 now, because now there's expectation. It's got to see if the bats can still hold up, but we're going to talk about it today. It's going to be an interesting rest of the series, that's for sure. But we're also going to, like I said, talk about the circuit picks. We're going to look ahead at some of the NFL lines this weekend. But we got start off with today's action. We've got, Costi wants to get it out of the way. The NHL, got 4 games on the board. Got the Lightning and the Red Wings. We got the Wild and the Capitals, Canucks and Blackhawks, and the Sharks and the Mammoth. Costi, there's no twirl involved, so I'm assuming you've got nothing.
No, I mean, from a giving you my opinion or strategy or anything that I do, I just don't do NHL. I get games from different groups that do NHL, but in terms of talking about it, I'll let you guys are pretty sharp when it comes to those markets. So you guys go at it. I'll just sit here in the middle.
Jeremy, I think we were talking behind the scenes. You don't have anything specifically for NHL today?
Yeah, I mean, look, I was looking at the Caps under and Tampa over, but ultimately I decided not to pull the trigger because I didn't feel strongly about either one. It was more or less we didn't have a lot of games, and as you're handicapping, you're going, this one's kind of right on the borderline of what I would bet, and then I just said, no, you know what? I'm not going to get cute. I'll just keep it a small card.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the wraparound up after the show. So if you want more in-depth thoughts on everything, you can catch that. It'll be up almost right after the show. But what I will give out here is I'm leaning towards the Red Wings still. I wouldn't be upset at Jeremy's over because looks like it's gonna be John Gibson that gets the start for the Red Wings here, and he was atrocious in his first start. But I'd be lying if I wasn't impressed with what Detroit's done out of the gate this season. You know, a couple wins over Toronto. You know, they beat Florida. Yeah, it was with their backup in net, but still, you know, controlled that game. You know, Detroit held Florida to 1 goal in that one. So I think it's a good spot, good price for Detroit. Tampa Bay, bit of a slow starter. We've seen that from Andrei Vasilevsky the last couple of years, where just comes out a little bit flat to start the year, and I think this is just a spot to take some plus money with the Red Wings, and I'll lean towards the under in Wild and Capitals. I think it's just low scoring game, 3-2, whichever way you slice it. Washington's kind of profiles one of those teams. They have one of the more underrated goaltending rooms in the NHL, Logan Thompson and Charlie Lindgren. Minnesota normally profiles as that defensive kind of team. And like I said, first to 3 wins this one, so I like the under in Minnesota and Washington. But we'll move on to college football. 4 games on the board here. We got Louisville on the road at Miami. Miami laying 13.5, total set at 50.5. We got Nebraska on the road at Minnesota. Nebraska laying 7.5. Total set at 47.5. San Jose State, Utah State. Utah State laying 4, over under set at 62. San Jose State coming off of that collapse against Wyoming. And UNC on the road, cross country at Cal. Cal laying 9, total set at 47.5. Cost, you got anything here?
Yeah, I mean, Miami at home, you're getting under 14. I feel like you're just getting value there. I mean, Miami at home has been unstoppable outside of that first game that they played, where it was a relatively close game against Notre Dame. Outside of that, they just keep getting better as the season goes on. I feel like now that Carson Beck has definitely positioned himself as potentially a Heisman candidate, a top Heisman candidate. I think Louisville is going to be way outmatched. I mean, they struggled last game against Virginia, and that was at home. So now you're facing a Miami team who's potentially the best team in the country outside Ohio State. I think it's going to be a very tough place to play, and I think Miami's going to absolutely dog walk the Cardinals here. So I think Miami wins by 3+ touchdowns.
Jeremy?
Yeah, I'll stay with this one, with the Miami game, because, I mean, when you look at it, Miami's been battle tested. You could say what you want about them. They beat Florida State. They beat Florida. They beat Notre Dame. They beat South Florida. And when you look at it from the other side, Louisville, they had a perfect spot to knock off Virginia and had 2 defensive touchdowns for Virginia in that game. I think the kid Bell, the wide receiver there, caught about 40 passes in that game alone. I mean, he's dangerous. But overall, I think the bookend pass rushers for Miami and that run game get it done. I just think they're a much better team, and there's a reason why they're favored by 2 touchdowns over Louisville. And I think we see points in the San Jose State game. If you go look at what these teams have scored, and I don't like scoreboard watching, but even in the losses, when Utah State's scoring 28, they're giving up 43, or neither one of these teams have really impressed this year, but they can't stop anybody on the defensive side. And I don't know how much you guys have looked at North Carolina and what's going on now recently. I guess Pablo Torre put out the story that Mike Lombardi left the team before the season to go over Saudi Arabia to try to get some money for NIL for next year. It's just, I guess you're trying to find Saudi Arabian boosters, but this team has been about everything but football so far. Bill Belichick's girlfriend, having the old ball coach yelling at the Patriots, and now they got to go cross country. I'm not willing to bet on Cal minus 9.5, 10, but I think the under looks good there.
Yeah, I'm going to take Utah State here. I'm selling my stock on San Jose State after that part. I'm just going to say it, that shit show against Wyoming. You put up 28 points in the first 20 minutes of that game, and basically just go away from what worked in that one. They ran for less than 2 yards per carry. I get it, Wyoming, weird things happen in Laramie, but the thing is, you're going to Utah State. A Utah State team is 3-0 straight up at home this season. And I just don't know if San Jose State's going to go score for score. I think this is a game where Utah State's going to get a couple of stops, and it's going to be the difference here. I think that I think Utah State wins this one by a touchdown. I think they win this one like 35-28, kind of like what we saw against San Jose State. So I'm going to take Utah State here, lay the 4. I don't love laying the 9 here with Cal, but we've seen so many teams struggle with just with these with these cross country spots. We've seen it in the ACC, we've seen it in the Big Ten. I think that North Carolina, it feels like the sky's falling. Their quarterbacks are still banged up. I think Gio Lopez might miss this game as well. I think JKS does enough for Cal to win this one 34-24, just sneak over the number here. So I'm going to take Cal here. I'm going to lay the 9. But we'll move on. We've got Major League Baseball. Got the Blue Jays and the Mariners in a coin flip in Seattle. Total set at 7. I'm up first here. I'm going with the Blue Jays. I'm going with the over. I think it's a good. I've said it. Whoever goes up early in this game, you live bet the other side after they go up, because it's been that kind of series. And the road team 4-0 in this series so far. I think it's Brian Wu getting the start for the.
Did they change it because it was going to be Miller?
Miller? Is it still Bryce Miller? Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's
okay,
who it is.
It's Bryce Miller. Let's see. I'm just trying to make sure I have the right information. Let's see.
Yeah, I had Miller this morning, and I heard that it was going to be Wu maybe in a game 7, or if they got to an elimination game, maybe they'd use him.
Yeah. I don't. Who do I trust to come back from game 1? Like, which of these stars do I trust to be better than they were in game 1? I think it's going to be Kevin Gausman. It was the one mistake pitch that he gave up to Cal Raleigh, and there's no denying Cal Raleigh's owned Kevin Gausman. 5 hits, I think, in his career, and 3 of them have been home runs. So you got to worry about that with Gausman and that matchup. But Bryce Miller is still not a pitcher I'm going out of my way to back. Still had a 5.68 ERA in the regular season, 5.8 ERA at home. I think Gausman gets it done for Toronto here. The bats have started to back him up, or the bats started to back up the Blue Jays pitchers. So, I'm taking the Blue Jays in this one and the over. Costi?
Yeah, I don't love these 2 games today and the situations. They could go, especially the Seattle game could go either way. I'm going to lean toward Toronto. I always like going with the hotter bats in the playoffs, and these teams that get on a roll, and Toronto's bats have woken up. They're facing the worst rotation pitcher in that Seattle lineup. I don't know. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I would even probably sprinkle a little bit of something on the under. I think Toronto wins 4-2. Don't love it though. Again, these games, when they get so tight and you're kind of just going game to game in the series, if you just want to bet for the sake of betting because you're watching the game, great. But there's so many other opportunities on the board tonight to take advantage of. I think this is a really close call here on this game, and I'm not touching that Dodgers game. I know they're going for the sweep, but too big of a price to lay with the Dodgers. But I don't even know who the pitcher is for Milwaukee at this point, so I couldn't even give out a game.
That's going to be another bullpen game. So it sounds like an opener, and then maybe Quintana or somebody else. But yeah, it's another. This is what I talked about with Milwaukee. Like, they've got to come in and they've got to use their bullpen a ton. So if the series goes long, You can't tell me those guys aren't going to be gassed. They just don't have enough starting pitching.
Yeah,
So.
they just got they got really ran over here. The Dodgers never got into their bullpens, which is their weak link, and the 3 starting pitchers did great for them so far in the first 3 games of the series. I'm staying away from that game altogether, but lean on Toronto.
Am I doing both games here, or were you just doing Seattle and Toronto?
I was doing them one at a time. But
yeah, Costi just jumped the shark and decided to do whatever he wanted. Like he owns the place.
It's Friday.
All right. Well, I guess I'll throw out both games.
We've now got Milwaukee on the road trying to avoid the sweep, plus 160, and the Dodgers starting Shohei Ohtani at minus 190, total at 8. Jeremy, what do you like here?
So I guess I'm going to buck both of you guys because I'm going to go with Seattle in the under. I like the home teams in the under today, but I can't bet the Dodgers minus the 180. I just won't. I think the under, if you can get it at 8, looks even better, obviously, than the 7.5. Yeah, my math checks out. If you want to bet under, there are a couple 8s out there still. And I just think that we're going to see these bullpen games. Anybody gets in any sort of trouble, and you're 1,000% right about Bryce Miller, even having a good start against the Blue Jays. What was it? 6 innings, 3 Ks. He gave up a run or 2, whatever it was. It was just okay. And he hasn't really even had a great start down the stretch. But this is the playoffs. If he gets a guy or 2 guys on, he's getting pulled. I don't care if it's first inning, second inning. I don't think they're going to let him work through anything, and then they just go to the bullpen. But momentum is next day's starting pitcher, and it sucks that it's Bryce Miller. But I do think Seattle bounces back today. And you mentioned Cal Raleigh. I like him over 1.5 bases.
I knew we skipped you for a reason. Yeah, I'm taking the Dodgers. This series is cooked. Yeah, plain and simple. The Brewers' best shot was yesterday. You know, they held the Dodgers' offense in check. Oh, thank God he's gone.
And I'm back.
Yeah, damn it. Yeah, I think that was their best shot. And as far as the bullpen for the Mariners, he got worked again yesterday.
Yep.
2 1/3.
I think they're gonna have to go to another starter at some point in there.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It'll be interesting. But yeah, so I'm going with the Dodgers here. Yeah, like I said, I think the series is over. Milwaukee, good regular season team, but the Dodgers are just built for playoff baseball. I think it's just what it comes down to. You have the haves versus the have-nots. But all right, well, before we get to the Circa picks, Costi, what do you got going on over at Safer Syndicate Group?
I mean, we have a lot going on between all the different products that we offer. A lot of it has to do with the right type of client for us, so it's not particularly for everyone. But I always say if you have a large size bankroll that you want us to manage, then make the call. I represent Jeremy, Yang, Al McMorty, all 3 of those guys so far offer a higher level of service with ratings on their games. All 3 of them have been doing extremely well. So if you're interested, the number's right on PickDawgz.com. Under Premium Picks, you'll see Safer Syndicate Group. My cell phone number's listed right there.
Definitely check Costi out over at Safer Syndicate Group. Jeremy, what do you got going on over at PickDawgz Premium today?
Yeah, as Costi kind of alluded to, I got my concrete inner circle with him. You guys can obviously find out more about that. And I talk about it every day on my Lowdown podcast. But I've been on fire in the NFL. I mean, I'm hitting it over 65%, hit again with Cincinnati last night, just feeling really good and seeing the board well. A lot that I like this weekend in college and pro. All my college and pro stuff are already up, and I'll just continue to handicap today and then add other spots that I like. But my 5 favorite plays are up on both. And I've been telling everybody, I don't care if you buy me or someone else, 3-pack, buy the 3-day and get $79.99 for most guys or whatever it may be, and set yourself up with football plays for the whole weekend.
I'm definitely check Jeremy out over at PickDawgz Premium, running really hot in the NFL right now. For me, like I said, coming off 5-0 day yesterday, 4-0 in the NHL. We had the Blue Jays too, and now we're just gonna try to run it back. 4 plays on the premium side, but for standalone plays today, I got my NHL power play and my college football big play. But like Jeremy alluded to, this is a great time to jump on something long term. For me, Let me speak for myself. We usually go high volume on these football weekends. The 3-day and the 7-day passes are usually less than buying each of Saturday's daily packages individually, and it gets you the entire Saturday college football card, the entire NFL Sunday card, and MLB and NHL in between. And I think the 3-day is going to get you into NBA opening night as well. So make sure that you check that out. Pair me up with Jeremy. Pair us up with anyone at the site. But use that promo code PICK at checkout. Get 15% off your purchase. But we get into should we do parlays? Should we do circa picks?
Circa picks.
Circa picks. Okay. Move on. We'll do the circa picks. Kelsey's going to run through the games. I'm going to take note of the percentages behind the scenes,
and I'll just pick games.
And you'll just sit there. And look, you'll just sit there and look pretty.
Jeremy's going to go first every time. Chris the second, and I'm going to close it out. So for those that are,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Costy's used to going last, right? You've been some weird parties in your life.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Sometimes it's all warmed up that way.
This is the only time where Costy finishes last.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Sometimes you can't look. Beggars can't be choosers.
And sex is like the opposite. I come before you. Wait, what? No, that's not it. Oh.
You know how the saying goes.
Yes, exactly. Sex is like the alphabet. I come before you. Sorry, go ahead.
That's not what I was talking about.
But... sorry. Okay. Just curious.
And we're going to start with the circa picks. The circa picks, for those that are new, these are the picks that are going to be entered in the contest. Now, remember, guys, for those that are commenting, you guys have been square as fuck for the last couple weeks. Let's not be square.
That should have been our entry name, square as fuck.
Square. Right now, our entry name is basically square as fuck. So let's not be square, guys. Let's have some sharp plays. Let's go 5-0. Because again, in these contests, all you have to do is get hot for an entire quarter. And that's it. And you can cash. So let's be much better this week and not be square. The first game on the board is the London game. We have the Jags and the Rams. The Rams are a 3-point favorite. Jeremy?
Yeah, I don't love this game, but if you force me to pick, I'd take the Rams here. Neutral site. They did stay on the East Coast. They played at Camden Yards here. So the travel shouldn't affect them as much as it had they gone home and gone all the way back to London. But the way to beat the Rams is to throw the football. So we'll see if Trevor Lawrence can do anything. But if you're asking me who I think's better on a neutral field, give me the Rams.
Yeah, I know that, if I don't have a play on the side, I'll at least give you my play in the game. Even though I know it wouldn't help the circa thing, but I like the under in this one. I know people still want to hear the pre-picks, but I like the under here. Still two solid defenses, a lot of travel obviously involved. I see this one coming in under the number. First to 20 wins this one, so that's what I like in this one, the under.
Yeah, I'm on the Rams. I just think they're the better team. Nakua not being full strength or he's even going to play is a bigger deal. But I think the Rams take their talents on the road way better than the Jags do. And I get it. It's the London Jags. We've talked about it for years, the connection there and how they play there. But they've really not played that well there over the years. I think they're playing above their pay grade. Huge win against Kansas City. But outside of that, you saw they came right back down to earth last week. Personally, I don't love this game. Probably not going to bet it, but if I were to choose, I would take the Rams. And at 34 votes, 53% to the Jags. Okay. We got a dog here.
Sounds about right that this shouldn't be
now
one of the
drop
games
down.
on your list.
So what I'm gonna do to make it simple, let's get to 50 votes. Let's get to 50 votes, guys. Come on. There's a lot of people in the chat. We're going to shut every one of them down at 50 votes. Right now, we have, it's about break even. It's moving. There we go. Shut it down. 50-50.
50-50.
So we're nixing that one.
That one is going to make it. The next one, we have one of the bigger spreads. We have the Chiefs laying 11.5 against the Raiders. Jeremy?
So a couple things about the Chiefs. Thanks a lot to the Chargers and everyone else for letting them right back in this thing, because they got to be feeling good. You get Rashee Rice back this week, Xavier Worthy, so now they have some explosive players. I don't know that Brock Bowers is going to give it a go for the Raiders. I understand divisional game. I don't like betting double-digit favorites, but I think this is MC Hammer puffy pants time. I think the Chiefs blow them out.
Yeah, this one's going to be played in Texas for me. El Paso. I got nothing. Full transparency.
That's exciting. Good breakdown.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be honest. If I don't like the, I'm not laying 12.5 with the
11.5.
11.5, whatever. I'm not laying with the Chiefs bed sheet at night. And there's nothing I'm doing with this Chiefs team right now, but I'm also not taking 11.5. I need like 3 touchdowns to take the Raiders in any way, shape, or form. So nada for me.
Look at Randy Mawson had taken 2 plays off these first 2. Unbelievable.
You talking about practice? Practice?
I'll still moss you. You don't even get it.
Dude, oh man, I can't even do any comebacks to say let's do it in Vegas, because I'm not going to Vegas this year. But this is Jeremy. This is what happens.
And even then, you'd still hurt your shoulder doing it again.
So you don't know about this either, Jeremy. But we did this thing where I was going to do a push-up with Chris on my back.
Yeah, you told me the story. You had to do it to get him to do a twirl, right?
No.
This was before that.
Oh,
the year before, I said, look, I could do a push-up with Chris on my back. So I'm training for it throughout the year.
He did not know what he signed up for.
I did not know what I underestimated a couple of LBs.
I was so scared. I was holding on. I was holding on to Kosty like you hold on to like someone riding their motorcycle. I was just on his back, and all I hear, he's like, "Lift your legs." This is going to sound horrible. Lift your legs and just get on.
Oh, nice.
And
I wanted him to lift his legs up.
I was like, I don't want to. I'm scared because I knew how much I weighed, and all I hear from Kosty when I lifted my legs up was, "Oh."
it was. I have never felt.
And I put my feet back
anything
down right
like
now.
in my entire life. I thought I was going to die. So I did not complete the push-up.
Oh, I knew I was. And someone said I was bigger than I thought. No, I knew I was big. Kosty didn't know how big I was.
Yeah, but now Slim Chris, maybe I think we're getting to that range where it's possible.
Next game.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm on the Raiders here. I like the plus 11.5 blindly. Division game, double-digit spreads in the NFL. You don't see a path for it. No Bowers. Really, all they have is Genty. Geno Smith likes to throw the ball to the other team a lot. You look on paper, Rice coming back. I still think it's too many points. 11.5 in the NFL is a lot of points. We've been seeing it week after week, like last night, for example. Not a lot of people had the Bengals winning outright. That's just how the NFL is. When you think somebody's completely out of it and they look like trash, they show up for that 1 week against the division rival that they've seen twice a year, every year. So I like the Raiders. And the poll here, 58%, Chris, to the Chiefs. All right. The next one, Jeremy. This one's a barn burner here. This one is just exciting. Can't wait to have this one as on the main screen. The Browns -2.5 against the Dolphins at home. The Browns are at home.
Well, I do like Devin Achane under rushing yards here. I think the Browns are going to slow him down, but God, this game's ugly. Give me Cleveland in this spot. I'm not going to give you a great reason outside of them being home, and they have the best unit on the field, which is their defense. So I'll take the Browns.
I really wanted a way to get on the Dolphins here because I don't trust this Cleveland team as far as I can throw them. They have not hit a team total over 18 without Jameis Winston as the quarterback since the 2023 season. December of 2023. Anytime they went over 18 points was when Jameis Winston was at quarterback. Without him, they've had nothing. And I think they're going to continue to have nothing. Even against this Miami defense, But the Dolphins have also been ass. So I like the under. Like I said, I wanted to find a way to get to Cleveland, to Miami, but no.
Yeah, for me, I think the path to the Browns here is the running game. I think they got away from giving Judkins the ball. They didn't give him the ball in the red zone. They really for a guy as talented as he is, you got to feed the guy. And if you don't feed him like last game, the game gets away from you. I think this game it's supposed to be, I'll be the weatherman here since Jeremy didn't bring it up. There's supposed to be 35-mile-per-hour winds in Cleveland this weekend. Miami, away from South Beach, has always struggled. And then they suck this year on top of it. I think Tua is going to have a really tough time with the pass rush. And I think the Browns pull this one out. I think it's just like Jeremy said, the best unit on the field is the Browns defense, and they're going to create havoc for Tua. The Browns run the ball. They give Judkins 20-plus carries. They cover, and they win this game.
Hey, real quick, Puka did just get ruled out for Sunday.
I just saw that,
yeah.
And they were saying that. They were talking about it, that he wasn't going to play.
I don't even know that I'd have him travel. I think I'd just leave him, say, go back home.
Yeah, he wouldn't travel. Plus, like the inflammation of the flight across
the swelling,
the swelling across the pond. They'll probably not that he has, but it's a longer flight on his way back. So we'll close this one down. 53% to the Browns. Don't think that one is going to make it. Next one up, we have the Patriots on the road, lane 7 against the Titans. Jeremy?
Yeah, this game sucks too. It's like, do I want to take the value with the home team that stinks here and the Patriots going on the road to face them when Drake Mays looked like one of the best deep ball throwers in the league? If you force me to pick, I would take Tennessee plus the points, but that's a vomit play for me.
Yeah, for me, I'm taking New England here. I know that you could have the sort of that dead cat bounce where you catch the Tennessee Titans coming off the coach firing and maybe you get the new coach rub, but not for me here. I still think this is the revenge spot for Mike Vrabel too.
Oh, that's a good point.
New England, I think that the win for New England was huge against Buffalo because you looked at who they had going into the bye. They have a really good shot at going into the bye week atop the AFC East, which is something that I never thought I'd be able to say in, a 10-year span from when Tom Brady left to when, Josh Allen took over. I thought it was going to be the Buffalo Bills division for a decade, but I think this is their best shot. So I think New England's going to have something drawn up here. I think the Tennessee Titans, the problem is, even though you got rid of Brian Callahan, the fact is the personnel have still struggled. Callahan can call the plays. The guys still have to go out there and execute. And I still think that we've just seen spots where the Titans have just shown their youth. So give me the Patriots here.
Yeah, I think I'm on the other side here. I'm on the Titans plus the points. Simply, again, NFL 7 at home is a huge number. I don't care who you are. The Titans have proven that they could be within games when they're not supposed to be. And I just think it's one of those games where new coach always gives the players added motivation. The Patriots have been playing great. I think they're a good team, but I think they're overvalued right now. And you're seeing that because of where they are in the standings, what they've done in the last couple of weeks, how good Drake May's been playing. But again, I see the Patriots winning this game, but I see it's being closer than 7. So I like the Titans getting that full 7, that full touchdown at home. I mean, if it was 5.5, 6, I'd probably lean toward the Patriots, but at 7, getting that full touchdown, I'm on the Titans here. And the public, the fans see it another way. Patriots, 74%. All right, next one up. We have the Saints and the Bears. The Bears are a 4.5-point favorite at home, Jeremy.
Yeah, another one of these spots. Bears on a little bit of a roll. I hope they win this weekend, and then they get to see the Ravens next weekend after the Ravens get healthy. So that'll be fun for them. I take the Bears at home here. The Saints have been playing much better, and believe it or not, you go look at Spencer Rattler's numbers, and I can't believe I'm saying this, and maybe I'm just grading him on a curve because he's Spencer Rattler. He hasn't played bad. I feel like he's deserved better this year. So, but I am going to take the Bears at home. I think things are starting to click for them. Ben Johnson, you give him time to look at a defense, and he's going to pick you apart. I feel like he's going to have some plays ready for them. Chicago minus the points.
You're
muted.
Sorry, I got stuck going on behind the scenes. I didn't want to type when you guys were talking. I'm taking Chicago too. I worry about Spencer Rattler on the road. I think that's the big thing for me here is that he's played well at home, but you take him out on the road, he's not been the same, and I think that goes for the Saints as a whole as well. We'll have to see if the Bears can win a game by more than 1 point, but I think there's just a Bears spot at home, so I'm going to take the Bears in this one. That Bears.
Yeah, there's this theory where in sports betting in the NFL, if a team is 4.5 or 5.5, that means they're not good enough to be a touchdown favorite. And it's not a close enough game for them to be 3. So basically what they're saying is they're not good enough to be a touchdown favorite. I always take, in a lot of cases, I take plus the points. This was the same situation with the Bears and the Commanders on Monday night. The Commanders were in a 5.5-point favorite. You don't lay the 5.5. You take the Bears plus the points there. So, and that's what we did on Monday night. And that's what I'm going to do with the Saints here. I think the Saints keep it close. The Bears still have a lot of issues. They did not play clean versus the Commanders. This is still a Caleb Williams that could turn the ball over. Yes, the running game definitely looked much better against the Commanders, but I just think that the Saints keep this game relatively close, and I'd rather have the points in my back pocket here. I still don't trust the Bears, so I am on the Saints, and we're going to end the poll 65% on the Bears. All right, next one up, we have the Eagles are a 1.5-point favorite at Minnesota.
Yeah, I've been talking about this because I feel differently about it depending on who's starting at quarterback, right? Like if J.J. McCarthy is going to give it a go, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I like the backup better. I'd rather see Carson Wentz out there. I think Justin Jefferson might be the number one receiver on the board this week if Carson Wentz is playing. I'm going to take the Vikings either way, but I don't know that I would bet it on Sunday. I know we got to make the pick today. I just think this Eagles team, I've been saying it all year, and even when they were 4-0, I kept saying it. Something's off with them. And you can see it now. The offense isn't clicking. I think Brian Flores gets that team up on the defensive side to slow down the game. I like Minnesota to win outright.
Yeah, it's I lean Minnesota. Because I still can't get past the fact that the Eagles have now been outgained in all 6 of their games this season.
Yep.
And it's, again, crazy to say a game off a game against the Giants. And usually, you may think, oh, well, buy low spot after a loss to a division rival, especially the Giants, who are still not one of the better teams in that division. But I don't know, sandwich spot with a rematch against New York next week. Yeah, give me the Vikings. It's leaning right now, though.
Yeah, I don't trust the Vikings. I get what you guys are saying. I could see the path, but this is still a team that lost to Atlanta at home. The only other game at home that they won was a blowout of the Jake Browning. Well, that wasn't even a home game. That was across seas against Jake Browning. So I just don't trust Minnesota, who they have a quarterback. It's tough for me to say that, on an extended rest, the Eagles came off a Thursday night. So they have extended rest, like a mini bye. for them to lose 3 in a row, I think they're going to change it up. I think that they have the better coaching staff as a whole, that they'll be creative enough. And I think they're going to put Jalen Hurts in better positions. And I don't know, again, last game, the defensive line was beat up for the Eagles. They have their healthy guys back. I think Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter both. Well, I know Jalen Carter didn't play, but they're going to have both of those guys now in the middle. It's going to be tough sledding for the Vikings. They're going to be able to get to Wentz, and like I'm with Jeremy. I think Wentz is a better option than J.J. McCarthy anyway, but I'm not fading the Eagles here. I think again, you're getting a discounted price on them because they lost to the Giants. Because otherwise, they beat the Giants in that game, they're 3.5. And because they lost and they have 2 losses in a row, now you're getting them at a discounted price. I like the Eagles. 55%.
To who?
To the
Eagles?
Yep. All right, next one up, Jeremy. We have another barn burner here. We have the Panthers are a favorite on the road against the Jets.
I'll just leave it at
1.5
this.
points.
I don't know that the Panthers should be. It's the same thing I said when the Cowboys went to the Panthers last week. I don't know that they deserve to be favored by over any team on the road. And although the Panthers are playing better, look, the Jets could have had a couple of wins here, but they're the Jets and they do this all the time. Maybe I'll regret this on Monday, but I think the Jets are one of the best plays this weekend.
Spot of the week. I'm taking the Jets. It's just Carolina has not been the same team on the road. Their wins have all come at home, coming off the win over Dallas. This feels like one of the last winnable spots for the Jets on the season. I think you get a full effort here. Whether or not they actually pull it off is another story, but I think going into this game, I want to be on the Jets.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Unanimous with me. Jets for me. Again, different team on the road. Great. The Panthers have been really good at home. I'm not taking anything away from that. They blew out the Falcons 30-0. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Cowboys. They are a much different team. I'm just not ready to lay the Panthers as a favorite, period, especially on the road. Just don't trust it here. I think the Jets pick up their first win of the season. The ugly picks are the ones that win a lot of times in the NFL. So last week, everybody was telling us, how could we pick against the Cowboys? And you saw what happened. So I am with you guys, and our fans are with us as well. 52%, probably not going to cut it on the Jets. All right, next one up, we have Chargers, 1.5 point home favorites against the Colts.
Yeah, I think we see points in this game. If you force me to pick, I'll take the Chargers at home, even though I think the Colts are better than them. Just being at home, I'm going to give them the edge in this matchup, and we'll see how the Colts run defense holds up against a Chargers run offense that's completely banged up. So give me the Chargers though at home.
Yeah, Chargers for me here too. It's crazy to think that it's a buy low spot for a team after a win, but the Chargers almost could have lost a third straight against Miami last week, but I think this is just another spot where we're going to see it. Daniel Jones can cut it on the road, but I think that this Chargers defense is still legit. Daniel Jones INT prop incoming, so give me the Chargers here.
Yeah, we've been waiting for the shoe to drop for the Colts now for 6 games. If it wasn't for the insanity of I forgot his name because he's useless anyway, to drop the touchdown. I mean, to drop the ball in the end zone. What was his name?
DeMarcado.
Mitchell. Right?
Yeah, so that was the week before. So before DeMarcado did it, Adonai
for the
Mitchell
Colts,
did
yeah.
it for the
Oh,
Colts.
80, but yeah.
That lost them the game, basically. So outside of that, this team, you're waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm looking at Indiana Jones as what we saw of Darnold last year for Minnesota. I mean, can he do it in the playoffs? I will give him the credit if he can do it in the playoffs, and he's going to become more of like the Baker Mayfield talks, where he was shit, and then he got over the top, and now he's in that class of elite. If it wasn't for Darnold losing to the Lions of a horrible game 17, they get the bye potentially. Minnesota wins that game. If they don't lose to the Lions, then they get a home game. He might end up getting a home win, and he's still on Minnesota. So this is kind of the same narrative that's going to be with Daniel Jones this year. I think the Chargers are way too beat up. They can't run the ball. Indianapolis can run the ball, and I think they're going to be able to do what they want. The Chargers defense has been giving up a lot of points, and 27 2 weeks in a row. Prior to that, they gave up 18, 20. I mean, they're giving up 20-plus points a game. I think the Colts have a really good, potent offense that's going to keep the train going here, and I like the Colts to sneak out a win here indoors.
If you take away that Denver win, they have 4 wins over teams that have 2 wins or less this season.
They can only play their schedule.
Yeah, but realistically, this should be a 3-3 team at best. If they didn't, and I was on the Colts last week, if they didn't, escape by the skin of their teeth against the Cardinals, and if there's not a leverage penalty against the Broncos, we're talking about a 3-3 team that has wins over Vegas, Tennessee, and Miami.
No, like I said, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. They're a good team. They're overall a good team.
They're frauds.
You can run the ball and not turn the ball over and play good defense. That is a recipe for winning games. And that's what they could do.
I think
I know
good.
you hate them, Chris. I know.
Frauds.
And I'm going to end the
reason
poll.
That their logo is a fucking horseshoe.
Listen, they literally left in the middle of the night.
You can practically see the brown stain where they pulled it out of Daniel Jones' ass.
56% to the Colts. Next one up, we have the Broncos laying 7, Jeremy, at home versus the Giants.
Yeah, I thought we might get it in New Orleans with the Jackson Dart first road game. I think this environment's going to be much better and much tougher to play in, and against a much better defense. Give me the Broncos at home. I think they cover that big number.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos here too. Just let down after the big win over the Eagles. Go to Denver, tough place to go on the road and win. Broncos defense is still legit. Take the Broncos here.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Consensus on the Broncos. Look, it's a great story of what the swag Giants have been doing, but everybody forgets the week before how many turnovers Jackson Dart had on the road versus a New Orleans team. The defense, the pass rush of Denver is going to give them a ton of trouble. Patrick Surtain's going to take away whoever they have. I mean, they're throwing out Wan'Dale Robinson. That's who you expect that's going to win games for you. Division game versus the Eagles, they got up for it at home Thursday night, short week. Now, Denver has an entire week to prep for you, and you're going on the road. I think Jackson Dart makes 2 or 3 turnovers in this game. Again, I'm not sold on these Giants. They just don't have the firepower, and outside of their defensive line, which is their best attribute, I think that a mobile running quarterback is the best way to, get away from that defensive line that is just so deadly. So I think the Broncos have the better team, better coach team, and I think they win this game by double digits. This one's a 50-50. Not 50-50. Making the cut. 50-50, right on the dot. Okay. All right, next one up. Cowboys are a 1.5 point underdog at home versus the Commanders.
Yeah, I'm on the Cowboys here. Look, they play much better at home, and I know Terry McLaurin might come back, but CeeDee Lamb, it sounds like he's coming back as well. I think you're going to see some points. I don't know if this one gets over that high number they have as a total, but I do think it's a relatively high-scoring game. Give me the Cowboys at home. See Washington go down back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cowboys too. I'm leaning towards the over, but like Jeremy said, it's a high total. But Cowboys for me here, especially with how well they play at home. So give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm on consensus with this one as well. Cowboys for me. They're getting healthier. They still have one of the best offenses in football. And
We them boys. Come on, man. Come on, man. I was just in the screen for the after, but come on, man. We them boys.
Oh, were you waiting for this game?
And all aboard. No, I literally just popped in. It's crazy. But all aboard. Sorry.
All aboard who?
Toronto.
Oh,
Over Costi for the push-up. Anyways.
Anyway, sorry. See y'all in a minute.
Did Jay give us his pick? Did he take the Commanders?
He said, we them boys. You know who he's picking. She.
Yeah, I'm on the Cowboys here. I think they just have it's going to be a rat race. I think the Cowboys at home are a different team, and division game. They know each other, and it's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those games where whoever has the ball last is probably going to win the game. And I'd rather have the home team that's getting healthier with CeeDee Lamb back. We haven't really seen the CeeDee Lamb pick and show for the second week, so I like the Cowboys here. Don't love this game. I think it's going to be a really close matchup, but for the sake of picking it in a pick'em pool, I'm taking the Cowboys, and I'm going to close it down 55% to the Cowboys. All right. Next one up, we have the Packers are a 6.5-point favorite on the road against the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't like this game at all. At first, I thought I might be on Arizona, thinking maybe it was just too many points on the road. I know Arizona's not a good team, but it felt like one of those games where they would keep it close because they always do this. They tease you in a couple of games they have no business being in. I would take Arizona plus the points, but I don't feel good about it.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm taking the Packers here. It's a lean, but for me, it's just that I just don't trust the Cardinals. I know they're at home. It's like I said, it's really a lean for me. There's not a whole lot to it. I still have to break this game down a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, there's an injury list for Arizona that I don't think they'll be able to get over. Marvin Harrison had a concussion, not sure if he's playing. Now they're starting running back. It's not even Wilson. You have Knight as a starting running back. I don't know. Are you guys sure if Kyler Murray's going to play or not?
It's up in the air too.
Yeah, so it's just one of those games for a pick'em pool. It's just so hard to pick on a Friday.
It's a better stay away, right?
Yeah, you just have to. I mean, unless you just feel very confident that with the spread that even if Murray plays, that that's going to change anything for you at 6.5. I don't think the line's going to move much regardless. I think they played, they played stress-free ball last week, and they were supposed to lose. Nobody expected them with Brissett to even make it a game in Indianapolis. Now they come back home, and at home they have one win this year against Carolina. They lost to Tennessee, which they shouldn't have. They lost to Seattle. They've had close games, but again, without Murray in there, no Harrison, just really hard to get the Cardinals out of your mouth here. I think Green Bay is on that, upward momentum here. Outside of that tie and at Cleveland where they just had a horrible performance, they've had really good showings this year, and I feel like this team is getting better. And the Cardinals, you're just not sure what to see out of them at this point in the season. If I had to pick it, I'd probably take the Packers right now, anticipating Murray not playing. So Packers for me. Close it down 71% to the Packers. All right. Now we have the 49ers at home -1.5 against the Falcons.
Yeah, more importantly, I think you see points in this game. I think that's the best play, but I think the 49ers at home, sounds like George Kittle might be back. I don't know if I've seen that confirmed just yet, but that would definitely be a bump, not only to the 49ers, but to the offense. But I would take the 49ers here at home. It's Atlanta coming off of Monday night and going all the way to the West Coast to take on a 49ers team that, I know they're banged up and they just had a tough run, but this is an important game for them to stay within their division run.
I mean, in fairness, I think it's important for both, but yeah, but I agree though. I am on San Francisco. I'm with Jeremy. I don't love the cross country travel spot for Atlanta here. I think that 49ers have been finding a way to get it done. It's hard to explain, but when you take Atlanta out of Mercedes-Benz, they're a different team. Thankfully, Chick-fil-A is closed, so you're not missing much. So give me the 49ers.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. 49ers for me. Letdown spot after that huge win for them Monday night. We just saw them go to Carolina and get absolutely blitzed 30-0 with a team that had the exact same roster as they had last week. So 49ers, the next man up, has worked really well for them. It doesn't matter if it's Bourne. I think Jawan Jennings is playing with 17 broken ribs. They just figure it out. Defensively, listen, losing Warner, not having Bosa, who's even playing defense for them. The coaches are so elite in San Francisco that they just get their guys ready and they're competitive with whoever's out there. I'm on San Fran here. I think they run the ball well. I think they maintain ball possession. I think even Penix is due for an INT here, maybe even a fumble. I mean, they're not going to run the same like they ran last week against the Bills. You're not going to see that type of 200+ yards on the ground against the 49ers, regardless of who's playing there on the road. They're a different team. I'm on the 49ers. 65%, Chris, 49ers. All right, let's keep it moving. We have the Bucks are getting 5.5 at Lions.
Been waiting for a spot to go against the Bucks, and I think this might be it. I know no Brian Branch as he appealed and lost his appeal, so he'll be missing from the game. But the Lions are just a different team at home, and I think we find that out this weekend. And when you look at this Bucks team, the way that you want to beat them is through the air, and I think they're going to do that and set up their running game that way. Do it almost like pitching in reverse. You're throwing to set up the run game. I like the Lions at home here.
Yeah, I like the Lions too. Just one of those things. I normally like Baker as an underdog, but this Detroit team, just with Goff and Campbell at home, have just been an ATS monster, and I think Detroit takes down Tampa Bay here. So give me the Lions.
Yeah, I don't love laying 5.5 again. I mean, this is the same exact type of matchup that was Monday night, where you have the Commanders and the Bears, and 5.5 points. Why are they not a 7-point favorite with the amount of injuries that Tampa Bay has? No Mbuka. But again, it's next man up, and I think Baker is that elite quarterback this year that, regardless of not having Bucky Irving, not having Mike Evans, not having Mbuka, they just keep putting next man up. And I just think it's 5.5 is too many points. I don't think Tampa Bay gets blitz here. I think Detroit wins the game and Tampa Bay covers. The two wins that they had was against Chicago and Cleveland. So I don't have a big enough sample size this year. I know going to years back, they have been a ATM at home ATS. But I just can't count Baker out with 5.5. This just, to me, it smells like a backdoor cover. So I'll take Tampa plus the 5.5. We're going to get to 50 here. Looks like the Lions are leading at 64%. Closing it down. 64%. And then last game on the board, we have the Seahawks are a 3.5-point favorite. I mean, sorry, a 3-point favorite versus the Texans.
Yeah, I like the Texans here. I feel like this is one of those spots. Seattle picks up this big emotional win going cross country, find a way to win that game, come back home on Monday night and lay an egg. I could see it happening. And look, I'm not buying into what Houston's done necessarily over the past couple of weeks, picking up a couple of W's and one against a beat up Ravens team. But coming off the bye, having a chance to get ready for this, I like Houston here plus the points. I think they're a live dog to win outright.
Yep, same thing for me. I like Houston too. I just like the makeup of this Houston lineup. I think they're a better team than their record would indicate. Seattle, another team where I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. I know 12th man, all that kind of jazz, but I think Houston gets it done. Maybe the Texans.
No, I'm on the opposite here, guys. I'm on Seattle. I think they're the better team. Houston, listen, beating the beat up Ravens is not showing me anything. Beating up on Tennessee at home is not showing me anything. Every other game they've played, they were competitive, but they've only won one game on the road against the beat up Ravens. And I just don't trust them on the road in the 12th man environment. I think Seattle's going to get up for this game. They've played really tough games at home and could have won both of them. They could have beaten Tampa Bay in that home game, and then early in the season they could have beat San Francisco. I think they're getting better. I think that Smith-Njigba is becoming that elite wide receiver, and they're just clicking with Darnold. And I think it's going to be a tough environment. McDonald's going to have his guys ready. He's going to disrupt Stroud out of his comfort zone, and what the Texans can't run the ball. If they can't run the ball, it's going to be hard to maintain possession. And I think Seattle, the fact that you're getting them at 3 and it's not 3.5, I like the 3. I don't know if I'd like it as much at 3.5 for betting sake, but at 3, I mean, I know we don't like pushes in the circa here, but for betting sake, I like 2.5, 3 much more than 3.5. So Seahawks for me, and I'm closing it down 59% to the Seahawks. That is it.
So it's Bears, Patriots, Packers, 49ers, Lions.
You said Bears, okay, Patriots, Packers, Browns, Lions.
49ers, Lions.
49ers, Lions. Okay.
All favorites. What could go wrong?
I said don't be square.
Square as fuck, boy.
This is great.
All right.
Well, we did it. We did it. I feel like we're getting better at this week to week. I like it. All
right. Well, it's that part of the show. Parlay time. Parlay. Costi.
I'm going to do an all college football parlay. Miami, Utah State, Minnesota, 3-teamer.
That's interesting.
Sure.
I'll go baseball. So I'm going to go both home teams, which would make Chris roll his eyes, but give me Seattle and the Dodgers and the under in both games, along with Cal Raleigh over 1.5 bases. It's plus 1650.
I repeat my sentiment. Womp womp. For me, let's go with the let's go with the Dodgers. Let's go with Utah State and the Red Wings. All right. I think that's it. Anything else, gentlemen, before we head off for the day?
Just put on your seatbelt. Saturday and Sunday. By this time next week, Saturday and Sunday is going to be that much more special with NBA.
Oh man, yeah. Work just gets harder after that, right? So college hoops and
college
NBA.
basketball. I love it. That's honest. That's my favorite time of the year.
Woof. Anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early for the Saturday morning show. Cover a ton of college football. Remember, check Costi out over Safer Syndicate Group and on the YouTube channel with Jay Yang. We've got Jeremy's Lowdown and Top Dogs with Mark Zeno. I'm gonna have the wrap roundup. We're gonna have tons of daily content, and we will see you guys again bright and early tomorrow morning. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for joining us. Good luck. Why isn't it ending? Here we go.